if you know of any employer that has a provision where they decrease pay for employees, I find that a little strange.
She questioned performance pay. No idea here. Never heard of commission, draw, etc. And then when it was explained, it immediately changed the tone of the entirety of the room here, guys.
I'm just wondering, I was a union member for a long time, and I've also gotten an opportunity to work in the private sector. And I'm curious to know if you know of any employer that has a provision where they decrease pay for employees. I find that a little strange, and so I just wanted to know where that thought comes from, and if you know where an employee gets their pay decreased.
Representative O'Neill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, I was a business owner. I recently sold my share, so I don't own it anymore, but there are plenty of businesses out there, especially those that depend on employees' productivity, like I was in the trades. So I owned a company that was a tile setting company, and if we didn't get out there and do the work, and if I didn't have highly productive employees, they were paid based on their productivity. So if they had issues, it is very possible that their pay would reflect those issues. If they were on probation for something, for some sort of violation, that could be coordinated with a pay reduction. It's something that businesses do all the time, and it could be the step before someone is actually fired. So it's an important thing, and it gets people's attention, when they see it in their paycheck that their performance does not meet the standard.
The amount of jobs that are based off of commission or the idea of draw meaning basically, if you don't sell enough, we're still going to pay you, but understand this here, your next paycheck is basically going to be, we're going to draw from that to make up for what you didn't do last time. Yeah, guys, listen, there are a lot of jobs like this, generally in sales or like, highly competitive commission-based industries. This is a thing here. And the fact that she does not know this is absolutely scary to me, right? Like, who put her in a position to talk about these things, not fully understanding how we do things for the most part in America, in certain industries? Maybe you shouldn't speak on things fully that you do not know of.
Hudson, I think, did you have some things?
Madam Chair.
Mr. Hudson? Was there a question for Mr. Hudson?
No, I think he was saying that he wanted to add something, so I didn't know if he had something to add.
Mr. Hudson, is there a response to the question? Do you have a response to that question?
Madam Chair, yes, ma'am.
Are you saying that you aren't aware of any businesses that decrease pay? Because that was the question.
Madam Chair, I think what Chair O'Neill perhaps could be referring to, there are some instances where the pay structure is different. So for an example, she had indicated that she had come out of the towel industry. I'm not sure if these were commission employees who may have been on like an 80-20 split. In that instance, there is a situation where a pay might be reduced.
Right,
or
if
we have a supervisor who perhaps had a performance improvement issue or a behavioral concern, and we demoted this supervisor, that is an instance where pay might be decreased. But just an employee who has not been under some sort of performance improvement program, having their pay reduced, I've never heard of that.
Well, Mr. Hudson, I think Representative Neal knows exactly what she says. And I think we've had a little conversation back here when the question was asked. I know Representative Uglem, do you want to speak to that point?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Representative Omar, if you happen to be a salesman in this world, and you can be selling cars, you could be selling siding, you could be selling just about anything, and you are paid on commission. So if you don't sell anything, you don't make anything. So you can have good years, you can have bad years. Probably really one of the best examples is a real estate agent. So it's the idea that people can make less money year to year, not to mention all the bonus situations that are out there in industry. It happens. It happens a lot. It doesn't necessarily happen, here in the public sector, but it's pervasive and very, very common in the private sector. Thank you.
And I'd like to add that in the private sector as well, people, if they are not performing at their job, get demoted, and with that demotion comes a pay cut. And that's not even related to being in a commission position, that's just in a regular position as well.
Guys, and this immediately pretty much dictates to us the literal disconnect that happens from the regular, common, typical Americans and those who are in Washington, D.C., basically making the policies. It seems like if you don't fully grasp that there are agencies and entities specifically around the United States of America, specifically in the private sector, that if you start doing bad, I'm not going to pay you the same, bro. I can't, right? Like if I depend on you to basically push the company forward to make us more money, how can I consistently pay you more money when we're making less money? Okay. Now, if it's like some hourly wage type of thing, I don't know. Maybe we're not talking about that. If we're talking about that, then maybe you're about to be fired. Okay. I'm just going to be honest here. We're trying to push you out of the company as quickly as we can here. Right. I'm not saying that's an amazing thing, but I will say though, the fact that she brought this up here and has no idea that there are companies in the United States of America that pay people based off of what they absolutely produce. If you produce less, you make less money. All right. If you signed up and signed your name onto the company that says that they're going to pay you via draw, understand what that means here, guys. That means that you may end up owing the company money. Because they're housing you, they're paying you your minimum wage plus commission, right? But if your commission is not making enough to basically fix the draw, then guys, what are you expecting here? You signed up for that. That's a lot of like sales type of jobs here. The guy basically said, numbers can vary year to year. Bro, numbers should be varying month to month here. You're not going to have like the same killer months in the downtime when people are not buying things. You're not really going to do that. And you need to focus on that. And if you start seeing that your numbers are down, maybe it's time to pivot to something else here, guys. All right. I get it. Sales can absolutely be incredibly lucrative, but if it puts you in this scenario here, maybe it's time to look at something else here, guys. It's again, guys, it is very incredibly disappointing to hear someone like Ilhan Omar, right, with the platform that she has, consistently preaching the idea of like egalitarianism. And I tend to kind of lean back on that because every time I hear like the modern left speak, it's like all they want is everyone is the same. Okay. There is no type of innovation that's even going to be accessible to people because everyone is basically the same here. Why push for any more when your outcome is just going to be the same as everyone else? Let's just be completely honest here. So those who are doing a lot less, all right, in her worldview means that they should be making exactly what you should be making, working super hard, 100 hours a week type of thing. Let's just say this here. Not saying that you should be doing that, but just understand. All right. Yeah. So that's the reality. They want everything to be like this. And it cannot be like this in a society as competitive as ours. All right. You have to work hard for what you want. If you do not work hard for what you want, you're going to make less money. Okay. All I'm hearing from that is I need to work harder so I can make more money. All right. I need to work harder so I can do more. Trust me, the person who is working super hard is not getting the pay cut, guys. But the person who is basically on track to getting fired, most probably because they're doing less work or they're quiet quitting, Gen Zers, right? You can't be surprised that this is happening here, guys. Listen, corporations are not your friends. Stop acting like it. Like, this is not our parents' era, bro, where you could retire, stay in a company for 20 years. That's not it at all anymore, guys, all right? You're going to have to always be on your toes and ready to basically pivot at any moment if you want to seek any type of success in the United States of America or in the West, guys, all right? What we just encountered right here shows us exactly the angle that the modern left is coming from. It's not conducive to even conversation, guys. You didn't immediately know that was what it was? It's frustrating, guys. But listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. And in the meantime, I'll go ahead and catch you guys later.